to know if I might be able to talk to you for a minute because
Sure.
I'm just like as an outsider, somebody who doesn't see like from like the doctor's office and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little anxiety because I'm surprised you called me. Thank you.
That's
Um,
all right.
I see like all the first year, part of 2020, I didn't really see a lot of stuff happening around here, like COVID wise and whatnot. And then, like for all of 21, it was kind of the same thing. I just seen a lot of people fighting, people being
Yeah.
like wedges being thrown between. I seen more of that than any kind of illness or anything like that. So my question is like I want to understand how, because now 2022 is when I'm seeing a lot of death and a lot of injuries and stuff like that. And I want to know because the first two parts of the year when these state of emergencies were being signed, I didn't see any kind of state of emergency. I didn't see anything like that. And I don't understand why all these measures kept being put on us. I don't understand why things were, because I honestly feel like that's where the worst of it all came from. And I just don't understand, like, without that state of emergency, they couldn't have done all of this stuff to us. But with it, they could. And there was no emergency. So I want to know where that came from to even put us on a state of emergency.
So the state of emergency was related to healthcare. It wasn't. It was related to the amount of people in the beginning, especially that were contacting COVID and were having adverse impacts from it. When it first started, for sure, there was a lot more hospitalization. There was a lot more people that were passing away. We saw, especially with the older population.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
like that was like older people that had already had like.
that's not necessarily true, though. And even just because somebody had something else, um, doesn't mean that they deserve to die. And
No,
so,
no, no. I'm not
no, no,
saying anybody.
uh,
I don't even kill
no, no,
bugs.
I know. Sorry, that was the wrong thing to say. I apologize. So people have said to me like, well, that person it was old, or that person maybe had some other illness. That's fine. I understand that, but COVID, especially for older people and people that had pre-existing conditions, shortened their life.
Yes, okay, but I understand that. But without that state of emergency, you guys were not able to do anything with this vaccine. Now, having said
Right,
that,
but we know that the
but
vaccine is saving lives, has saved lives.
um, I feel like I beg to differ because I see a lot more in many people that I know even that have received it, and
So,
I don't
well, I can just tell
understand
you
why.
statistically, the numbers show that the vaccine causes less harmful impact from COVID. There's less death overall from people who are vaccinated compared to not vaccinated. I mean, these are numbers that have been shown right across the world. It's not just here. It's like billions of
But
people.
there were
Right?
no deaths. Like I can tell you,
There was deaths. There was
not
5 million deaths alone in the
yeah,
United
but that's
States.
yes, but the numbers are the same as what they were with the flu. Like the flu just
No, they're
totally
not.
disappeared.
That's
They really
misinformation. It's
how
not.
I
That is
don't.
misinformation.
But
That
okay,
is not.
but
The same amount of people do not die every single year from the flu that did from COVID. That is absolutely 100% not true, and that's been proven incorrect. And that's something, a falsehood that's been spread across the internet. But it's not true.
I
More
don't.
people were getting sick from COVID and having adverse effects and dying
Okay,
than the flu. And on top of it, it was more contagious.
okay, yes, but but I see where you're saying that, but I know that like we never even had any cases of the flu that were being reported. So I'm really confused as to how.
But just because they weren't being reported doesn't mean that the flu didn't exist. And also, you have to remember that, like, people took extreme measures, like they were wearing masks, they were cleaning their hands, they were distancing. All that would help prevent people from catching the flu.
Okay, well, why is it that I do not understand how it is that you are, because it's quite obvious that the vaccine does not stop the spread. Am I right?
No, but okay. So the vaccine may not stop the spread, but it stops adverse reactions. Like
Okay,
more
but why?
harmful
Okay,
and
so
extreme
why
reactions to
why are
COVID,
we
and we know
why?
that.
Okay, then that is, but why are we creating like passports and stuff like that for people to have this when it's not even stopping the spread? Why do people
Okay,
actually
so
physically have to have this
again,
if it is not?
again,
I don't care if my reactions to COVID are strong. That's something. That's a choice that
you
I
would
get
if
to
you
make.
died.
Well, that's a choice I
Well,
get to
you would.
make.
Well, you
I
would if
see.
you would.
Do you know when you
But
know
that's
people
not.
that
But
work
that's
in?
just not.
Excuse
Just
me.
wait, that's not
Excuse
just,
me.
That's just not. No,
But
just that's just
no.
that decision's not is not just up to you. You go out in the public, and if you have COVID, you come in contact with one of my best friends whose son is 4 years
Okay.
in the system, and
Oh,
if she
you cut
gets
out
sick,
there
her
really
son
bad.
dies. You know,
But
so
it's still
it's a very self-absorbed thing to say. Like, if
it's
I
not
get it, too
self-absorbed.
bad.
No,
It is.
that is not, because that's talking about my own adverse reactions, not somebody
No, but you
else's.
go out
Like,
and you
do
go to the
you wear?
grocery store.
I'm not going to wear a condom when I have sex to protect you.
That's a completely different.
No, it
well,
is not.
I mean, if you're having, well, if I'm having sex with someone, I wear a condom to protect both of us.
Okay, yes, I'm aware of that,
And
but
it's also to help stop spread like diseases.
I understand that. But why would a healthy being need to get this vaccine in their body? Like, I know somebody who works, well, used to work in the blood lab, and the reason why they did not want to get their vaccine is because they've seen the amount of blood clots that are coming up in people. So she did not want to get this.
So the statistics don't show that. So the person can say that,
But
the
that's
statistics do not show it. The raw data does not show that, and that's people can say whatever they want, and that's part of the problem is that people are constantly saying, "Well, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening." The numbers don't show it, and the numbers don't prove
but
it.
they
Like,
do. Did you ever look on the VAERS report? There are things written out. There are
What's
stuff.
the VAERS report?
There are things out there that
What's the VAERS report?
it's like a vaccine adverse reaction report.
So who is responsible for that?
I think you can actually see it on the CDC.
Okay, so there is very few adverse reactions compared to the positive that's happening, and I would argue, like, the other thing is, I had this discussion with someone the other day. Everything you take and put in your body, you can have an adverse reaction to. You can have an aspirin. You can take an aspirin today.
Yeah, I
and
know
have
that.
an adverse reaction to it.
Oh, I understand that. I understand that very
The
much.
majority,
But when
the vast majority of the population do not have adverse reactions, and the vast majority of the more people were dying and have died from COVID than getting a vaccine, and vaccines have saved lives.
Okay, so I work in the public, and 2020, I did not hear anybody. Like, and I work in, like, high public, okay? And the first 2020, I see a lot of people. I know a lot of people. I have not heard anybody that I know of pass away or having any issues. Then 2021, it was basically this. Okay, I'm telling you, me on a personal level. That's what I'm not talking.
But that's your individual experience.
Yes,
The
and
truth
that's but that matters though.
But just wait.
Because
You're
this is my
individualizing
sovereign
this.
body, so
But
you
you're
interrupt me an awful
individualizing
lot.
this.
Yes,
But-
because we
but
are
you're
all
individualizing
individual.
this.
Because we're all individuals.
You're saying I didn't see anyone die. Well, I haven't seen anyone die
No,
in
no,
a car
no.
accident. That doesn't mean that people don't die in car accidents.
Did you notice that there's a lot more of those lately as well? I do.
What's that?
A lot more car accidents. I don't know.
There's not.
Why are you getting?
Statistically-
Why are you getting very heated with me? I'm very
because
calm.
I'm not getting heated. You're just saying things that are not true.
No, I'm not. They're true to me though. Like, I'm telling you that on a personal level. Like,
They're not factually true.
okay, so am I not factually a human?
I never said that, but you just said there's more car accidents now than there ever has been. That's
There-
actually not true.
It actually really is, because I see them all the time. I live right by the hospital. I hear sirens
Okay,
all the time.
police
Why are
reports
you?
show, and insurance reports show that that's not true.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I must be seeing things then. I guess I must be hallucinating. Is that because I'm just telling you? Like, even at my job, just within 2 days, I have had 3 customers tell me that their husbands have passed away. I see a lot of people on my social media. Oh my, rest in peace this one. Oh my, rest in peace that one. There are a lot of people passing away since this vaccine has been rolled out.
That's not true.
How can you tell me that it's not true from what I witnessed?
Okay, because statistics are kept on births and deaths in every single province, every single city, and every single country. It's not true. It's factually not
okay,
true.
Well,
anytime somebody dies, it is reported. Doesn't matter what you die of.
Okay.
People aren't all of a sudden dying.
Okay.
I mean, you may feel that way, but it's factually not.
Okay, well, okay, so lastly, I'll just say then, I just really wish that you could make it more clear to me. How come, like, okay, these people have had 3 boosters, okay, or 3 shots altogether. They are still coming up. I know very many people that have not even had any vaccines, and they are still healthy and fine. They are not
yes,
ill.
Yes, I mean that's how viruses work. Some people catch it, some people don't.
Okay, so why are people? Why
so did you catch H1N1 when it was going around?
Did I? No. But you know, I get germs, right? And I was never one to like completely always wash my hands and stuff because I know that we need that stuff to live, and like all this sanitizing and stuff.
It's COVID-19 to live.
No, I'm talking about germs and stuff, like certain germs. Yeah. The way that we're sanitizing absolutely. Things and everything, we're babying our immune system by doing that. We're hiding it and not letting it get anything, and that is very, very dangerous.
So that's not scientifically true either. You know, I'll give you a good example. The Chinese individuals, like if you go to China, mm-hmm. they've been wearing masks for decades. That doesn't mean that their immune system is any weaker than ours.
Okay, are we really comparing us to China?
I'm comparing humans. Humans. You just said that this stuff is going to destroy our immune system, so that must mean that everybody in China has a poor immune system because they've been wearing masks for well before COVID.
I'm talking about like all the sanitizing and like they kind of have to do that there probably, I believe, because I think their air pollution is so bad because they have so many things.
Hospitals have been sanitizing, and hospital workers have been
sanitizing. Oh, really? Because do you want to know what? We'll say it was back in July or August, I believe. I was in the Dartmouth General for 19 hours with my 2 children. Not any kind of COVID-related reasons. One broke her finger, and the other one had a really bad headache. So we were at the hospital.
Sorry to hear that.
And thank you, I appreciate that. But the whole time that I was in that emergency room while we were waiting, with all those sick people coming and going in there, not one person moved anything. I put a box of Kleenex on the floor the first day that we were there because I needed it.
What I'm saying is, hospitals, if they're dealing with you individually, they sanitize their hands, they wear gloves, they've always done
Yeah, what about the emergency room, though? That's a cesspool. There was a security guard sitting there doing nothing, just sitting there. Working in a restaurant when we're washing salt and pepper shakers and all this stuff.
That's not their job.
But
so it's a unionized environment.
Okay.
So I would say that.
Anyway, that's off the. It doesn't matter. Is this?
I'm
wondering.
Is I understand that some people have high anxiety toward the vaccines, and listen.
It's not called high anxiety at all. It's called. We know what our immune system is capable of doing, and we know that we don't need a vaccine. The vaccine does not stop the spread. I have heard more cases now since you've put this vaccine in place.
The vaccine does not stop the spread. We've been through this. Like, the vaccine stops adverse reactions, and
adverse reactions to who?
People.
The person who takes it. So why does it matter if I take it then if I don't care? Do you care about my body? Because, like, really, I can tell you, I live in housing, and...
I care what happens to everyone, but I also care what happens to our healthcare system. I care what people...
Well, then,
who
you care about our health system? Are you sure about that? Are you sure any of you people care about the health system?
I don't know what you mean by any of you people.
Because, well, then why are we... If you cared about the health system, there wouldn't be so many people without jobs right now because you're trying to force this vaccine. These people work in the hospital. These people see... No,
I mean, you're talking
but
to the wrong
this
person. I didn't do
this
that.
this state of
It's a
emergency,
conservative government,
signing
which
over the
most-
state of emergency over and over again when there was no state of emergency,
There was a state of emergency.
nobody was sick.
That's absolutely not true.
People had the flu. That was it.
That's absolutely not
I see this
true.
is
If we're
going
gonna have a-
nowhere.
if we're
I
gonna have a
see this
discussion
is
about
what.
this,
No, I see
we
this
gotta
is
have a
going
factual
nowhere.
discussion.
I see
It
this is
wasn't the
going
flu.
nowhere because
So
I see
I'm
this
gonna
is.
give you a list
Thank
of
you.
people who passed
Thank
away
you.
in Northwood.
No,
And you
yeah,
can tell me if that's a flu.
they were. No, what about the radiation levels that were
It
recorded?
had nothing to do with
You
it.
don't think
I
that?
don't even know what you're talking
You
about
don't
with
think
that,
so?
but they died of COVID-related symptoms.
Yeah,
Like,
and
also very
radiation.
insulting that you listen. I just want to say that it's very insulting that I read this and I hear this and I am taking the time to have this discussion with you. But I have close personal friends that lost people during all of this because of COVID, and it's very.
Did you have anybody?
insulting.
Did you have anybody
Listen,
die?
It's very insulting that you guys just act like it's nothing. And that's
Really?
what happens.
Really?
You act like it's nothing. You're like, whatever.
What about my parents like losing out on their job for 2 weeks because they had a false positive because the PCR tests are garbage? What about that? My parents
PCR
aren't
tests
well
aren't
off.
garbage, but that's
You-
fine.
okay,
But no
so
test is
my
infallible.
thought.
There's not a
Well,
single test on Earth that's infallible.
okay, so here's the thing. Well, this is okay. Well, riddle me this, Batman. Okay, because my father had a positive COVID test, and he was made to quarantine for actually 16 days.